So can you talk a little bit about how you feel about doing this?
I've never done anything like this before. I'm a MC, so like for female rappers, a lot of times it's either you're super uber sexy and you take off all your clothes, or you're super, wearing every single piece of clothing you could possibly wear and covering up any piece. And I'm kind of like in the middle, I would like to say. Like sometimes I want to be super sexy and sometimes I want to wear my hoodie and jeans. I come from a Latino and Caribbean background, and a lot of the women consider whiteness as the aesthetic to be. You don't want to be too dark, or you don't want to have really kinky hair or nappy hair or whatever that means. But I do understand that a lot of times in this culture, Black women have to choose like one side or the other. Are you going to be all about your Africanness, and are you going to be all about, where you come from, Black power, or are you going to like go that way and, be of American culture? Regardless, a lot of African women already have naturally straight hair. So I don't see why it's such a big deal to have a curly hair or straight hair or anything like that. And, there's just bigger issues in the world that I care about than just my hair. So.
Necklace?
I came from a Black kind of school, like just mostly Black students, and a lot of kids just had like fucked up homes and stuff like that. They didn't really care about education, and my mom would beat me up. Like she would like beat me if I didn't care about my work. Not like abusive or anything like that, but it was just like get your shit together kind of situation. And my family comes from a really crazy background of people who just don't feel like they ever got the chance to make it out. I went to Wesleyan University. A lot of people didn't want to talk to me because I guess they were intimidated by the way I looked. Or I don't know if that was race, but a lot of it felt like race because of the way I spoke. And I didn't have a lot of white friends at Wesleyan, and Wesleyan is primarily a white school. Then I remember going to a frat party, and we went into a basement of the frat party, and we saw like plantation images on the walls, seeing all these Black photos of slavery in a white frat makes you kind of...
What did it make you?
It freaked me out. I'm partying, and all of a sudden I'm seeing this, and I'm like, all right, I need to get the hell out of here.
So they just had photos on the wall of slavery?
I don't think they knew that it was that. Like,
it had been there.
It had been there, because the house is an old house. It's a very old house. And then after that, we would like sometimes go party, and we would be walking down the street and somebody would be like, niggers, like while we were walking down the street.
Had you ever been called that before?
Mm-mm. Not even like in New York or anything like that. It made me feel like the rest of my life I have to combat that moment to make sure that no other kid is dealing with that shit again.
So what happened? What did you do?
After that,
was that the pivotal moment?
A teacher told me that I wasn't gonna make it out of Wesleyan. Like I wasn't gonna graduate because I went to a really bad high school. And
a Black teacher said that to you?
Yes. Like she told me, you need to work 20, 30 times, maybe 40 times as hard as anybody in this school because you weren't supposed to be here. You were a quota. I appreciated her honesty. I'm gonna be real with that. I appreciated the fact that she kept it really 100 with me about my education and where I came from. Like nobody ever told me that before. No one. And so like I was the girl coming in class with my headphones on and just being a B girl, and she sees me, and I guess she might have saw herself back in the day. When she said that, it hurt, but it also made me want to go hard in school. Like it made me have to prove to her that that's bullshit. And And that's what happened at the end of the year. I did graduate. I mean, the end of the 4 years, I graduated. I did this class speech and everything, and, you know, so like, and she saw me, she was in the front row. I guess my life is always having to prove. It's always been that way. It's always been like this chase. And now I'm finally liking it. Before I hated it, but now I'm in a space where I'm like, this is dope, because the rest of my life I'm gonna just be proving people wrong.
You referred back a lot to where you came from to graduating from Wesleyan. Like, can you explain that in more detail, where you came from and why that was so significant?
And my dad was a drug dealer, and I didn't know until I got like a certain age, but I was like so naive to everything that was going on around me, because when I found out, I was like combating against that. Like, I was combating against, you know, drug dealing in the Black community is wrong, and, you know, you're killing your bro, and like, I was going against all of that. And then I found out, and I was like, it's in my home, but I can't be mad because this is the same man who's feeding me and putting clothes on my back, and he doesn't have an option because he was an immigrant, and it's like a dead end pretty much, you know what I mean?
Why was it a dead end?
It was a dead end because he didn't have any papers here for a while. He couldn't get like a job here. He's not doing it anymore, thank God, but he was under the rug for so long, and now that he's out, he can't like really work because he's so old and people don't really want to hire him. And so like he his whole life was just dealing and trying to just feed my mom and me and take care of us. And he wasn't like, you know, when you see a drug dealer, you think of the drug dealers that is all flashy, fly car and all that. He wasn't that at all. He was like just a humble dude trying to make way. And so I had to understand, and I couldn't be mad at it, because he was just trying to do what he had to do for me, you know? So, pulling my hair with this jacket.
When do you feel the most vulnerable?
I think there's 2 times that I feel really vulnerable. The one time is when my mom is like sad or crying. 'Cause she's like my soldier. Like, she's the tough one. She'll like making sure that I go hard and everything. And you know, we kind of grew up in this weird communist way, but not communist, like kind of on some like go hard for your family and make, you know, us be okay, you know what I mean? And just give to everybody and like make it evened out, you know? Like, my mom had me young too. She had me when she was 18. So she's always feeling like she needs more in life, and she's not living like the way she wanted to live, or living the way you're supposed to live. And now she's 45 and she's still struggling. And so it makes me really, and then she's also really family oriented. Like, I'm her only child. So she always wanted another kid, but never had the chance to have another kid. And I'm finally growing up. And so she feels really alone sometimes because my dad's not there anymore. And so sometimes I just want to I just wish I could go back to being a kid for her. You know what I mean? But I know I can't. And then she doesn't want help. Like, she doesn't want to talk about it. She doesn't want to like get me involved. She just wants to be really private. And I understand, because sometimes when I'm sad, I don't want anybody talking to me either.
When do you feel the most beautiful?
Oh man, on stage, I feel like Man, I feel like glory on stage. It's just the lights, and I feel like I become light with the light.
And can you talk about why being Black is beautiful?
There's an essence about Blackness that is godly, you know, for me. It's real, it's mysterious, and it's from the earth, you know? And even with everything going on, the fact that it's concealed, like, you can't really grasp it all the way because of everything, but we're fighting so hard so you can. And people have to reach out to us to kind of know what this is about, to know what this lifestyle is about. That is beauty. To have to reach to know us. That's like God. So this was the awkward part, right?
Why in your body is it a good place to be?
My body is honest. You know, this is what a woman is, you know, like and when I'm on stage, a lot of little girls is gonna see me and be like, that could be like my sister, that could be like my mom, or, you know, and I'm not trying to put no booze in or ass in or anything like that. I just want to stay like this, you know? It's honest. It's really honest.
How do you feel?
I feel good. I was super nervous, not gonna lie. But this was good for me. Yeah, I needed this. So thanks.
You're welcome. It was really, really amazing.
Yeah.